Welcome to all in my YouTube channel, Mathematics with Sachin. This is lecture series on inventory management. This is first lecture on inventory management. In this lecture, we discuss introduction to inventory management, classification of inventory, types of inventory models, cost involved in inventory problems, why inventory is maintained, variables in inventory problem, list of symbols used in inventory. We discuss one by one all these points. Inventory management. Introduction. In our daily life, we observe that a small retailer knows roughly the demand of his customers in a month or in a week, and accordingly places the orders on the wholesaler to meet the demand of his customers. But this is not the case with the manager of a big departmental store or a big retailer, because the stocking in such cases depends upon various factors. For example, demand, time of ordering, lag between the orders and actual receipts, etc. So, the real problem is to have a compromise between overstocking and understocking. The study of such type of problems is known by the term material management or inventory control. Inventory may be defined as the stock of goods, commodities, or other economical resources that are stored or reserved in order in ensure a smooth and efficient running of business affairs. The term inventory may be classified in two main categories. First, direct inventories. The items which play a direct role in the manufacturer and become an integral part of finished goods are included in this category. These may be further classified into four main groups. First, raw material inventories. The inventory of raw materials is the materials used in the manufacture of product and can be identified on the product. In inventory control, manager can concentrate on the bulk purchase of materials to save the investment. Then second one is to meet the changes in the production rate, and third one is to plan for buffer stock or safety stock to serve against the delay in the delivery of the inventory, against orders placed, and also against the seasonal fluctuations. Second, work in progress inventories. These inventories are of semi-finished type, which are accumulated between operations or facilities. These inventories serves for the following purpose. First, to provide economical lot production, to cater to variety of products. Third, replacement of wastages. Fourth, to maintain uniform production even if sales varies. Third, finished goods inventories. After finishing the production process and packing, the finished products are stocked in stockroom. These are known as finished good inventory. These are maintained to first to adequate ensure the adequate supply to the customer. Second, to allow stabilization of the production level. And last, to help sales promotion programs. Fourth, spare part inventories. Any product sold to the customer will be subject to wear and tear due to uses, and the customer has to replace the worn out the parts. Hence, the manufacturer always calculate the life of the various components of his product and try to supply the spare components to the market to help after sales services. The use of such spare parts inventory is to provide after sale service to the customer and to utilize the product fully and economically by the customer. Next, scrap and waste inventories. While processing the materials, we may come across certain wastages and certain bad components or scraps which are of no use. These may be used by some other industries as a raw material. These are to be collected and kept in a place away from main stores and disposed periodically. Disposed periodically. Then second type of inventory is indirect inventories. Indirect inventories include those items which are necessarily required for manufacturing but do not become the component of finished work production, like oil, grease, lubricants, petrol, office materials, stationery, maintenance material, furniture, etc. All these terms are included in indirect inventories. Types of inventory models. Inventories may also be classified depending on their nature of use. They are first, fluctuation inventories. These have to carry because sales and production times cannot be predicted accurately. In real life problems, there are fluctuations in the demand and lead times that affect the production of items. Such type of reserve stocks or safety stocks are called fluctuation inventories. Second, anticipation inventories. These are built up in advance for the season of large sales, a promotion program, or a plant shutdown period. In fact, anticipation inventories store the man and machine hours for future requirements. Third, lot size inventories or cycle inventories. This situation happens in a batch production system. In this system, products are produced in economical batch quantities. It sometimes happens that the materials are procured in quantities larger than the economic quantities to meet the fluctuation in demand. In such cases, the excess materials are stocked, which are known as lot size or cycle inventories. Next, transportation inventories. Such inventories exist because the materials are required to move from one place to another place. When the transportation time is long, the items under transport cannot be served to customers. These inventories exist slowly because the because of transportation time. And last type is decoupling inventories. Such inventories are needed for meeting out the demands during the decoupling period of manufacturing and purchasing. Costs involved in inventory problem. Cost involved in inventory problem. First, holding cost, C1 or CH. The cost associated with holding or carrying the goods in the stock is known as holding costs. It is denoted by C1 or CH per unit of goods for a unit time. Holding cost is assumed to vary directly with the size of inventory as well as the time for which the item is held in stock. The following components constitute the holding cost. First, invested capital cost. This is the interest charge over the capital investment. Then second is record keeping and administrative cost. Third, handling cost. Handling cost includes all costs associated with movement of the stock such as cost of labor, overhead cranes and other machinery required for these purposes. Next, storage cost. Storage cost involve the rent of the storage space and interest even if the own space is used. Next, depreciation or deterioration costs. Such costs arise due to items in a stock being out of fashion or the items undergoing chemical changes during storage. Next, taxes and insurance costs. Next, purchase cost or production cost. Purchase price per unit item is affected by the quantity purchased due to the quantity discounts and price breaks. All these costs included in this holding cost. Then second cost is shortage cost. It is denoted by either C2 or CS. The penalty costs that are incurred as a result of running out of stock are known as shortage or stock out costs. These costs arise due to shortage of goods. Sales may be lost. Goodwill may be lost either by a delay in the meeting the demand or being quite unable to meet the demand at all. These are denoted by C2 or CS per unit of goods for a specific period. Next, setup cost. They are denoted by C3 or CO. The setup cost include the fixed cost associated with obtaining goods through placing an order or purchasing or manufacturing or setting up machinery before starting the production. Setup costs are also known as order cost or replenishment cost. They are assumed to be independent of the quantity ordered or produced. Setup costs are denoted by C3 or CO per production run or per cycle. Now the question is, why inventory is maintained? There are some points for which we have to maintain this inventory is most important. First, inventory help in smooth and efficient running of business. Second, inventory provides service to the customer immediately or at a short notice. Third, due to absence of stock, the company may have to pay high prices because of the piecewise purchasing. Maintaining inventory may earn price discount because of bulk purchasing. Fourth, inventory also act as buffer stock. When raw materials are received late and so many sales orders are likely to be rejected. Inventory also reduces product cost because there is an additional advantage of batching and long smooth running production run. And last one is, inventory helps in maintaining the economy by absorbing some of the fluctuations when demand for an item fluctuates or seasonal. Variables in inventory problem. Variables used in the inventory problem are of two types. First, controlled variables. Controlled variables which we have to control. First one is how much quantity acquired, that we have to control. This may be adjusted for each type of resources separately in one of the following way. The quantity to be ordered should be Q quantity units, or the quantity to be ordered such as to rise the stock level to S quantity units. Second, frequency or timing of acquisition. The inventory should replenished when first the amount in stock is equal to or below S quantity units. Second, or the amount in stock and the amount of order are equal to or below Z. And third one is or at T time, at every T time unit. That means we have to control the frequency of frequency or time to replenish the inventory. That means we have to order, we have to always make the stock up to S quantity units, or when amount of stock is below Z, then we have to take the order, we have to make the order to complete the stock level up to S units, or we have to order at every T time units, means in a week or in a month or in a day. That time we have to control. So the frequency or timing of acquisition is to be controlled. And third one is the completion stage of stocked items. The completion stage of stocked items. More finished the goods, lesser the delay in the meeting of the demand. But on the other hand, higher will be the cost of holding them in stock. Lesser finish the stock items, longer the time in meeting the demands, consequently lesser the cost of holding in the stock. So we have to control these variables. But there are some uncontrolled variables. The second type is uncontrolled variables. First one is holding cost, shortage or penalty cost, setup cost. All these are the uncontrolled variables. They may be rise or they may be increases sometimes, or they may decreases sometimes. Then next one is demand. The number of items required per period is not necessarily the amount sold, because some demand may go unfilled because of shortages or delays. The demand pattern of items may be either deterministic or probabilistic. Deterministic demand means the quantity is needed over a subsequent period of time are known exactly. The known demand may be fixed or variable with time. Such demands are called static or dynamic. And second one is probabilistic demand. The demand occurs when the demand over a certain period of time is not known with certainty, but its pattern can be described by the known probability distribution. A probabilistic demand may be either stationary or non-stationary over the time. And third one is lead time. The time between placing an order or and its arrival in stock is called as a lead time. If lead time is known and it is not equal to 0 and demand is deterministic, then order in advances by an amount of time equals to the lead time. The next uncontrolled variable is amount delivered or supply of goods. The supply of goods may be instantaneous or spread over a period of time. If quantity Q is ordered for purchase or production, the amount delivered may vary around Q with a known probability density function. These are the all uncontrolled variables. Then list of symbols used in the inventory. First, C1 holding cost per quantity per unit time. C2 shortage cost per quantity per unit time. C3 setup cost per order. Then a capital R demand rate, capital K production rate, small t scheduling time period which is variable. Then TP prescribed scheduling time period. X demand during prescribed period TP with probability f of x. Y demand during lead time capital L with probability q of x. Z order level or stock level. D total demand or annual demand. Small q the quantity already present in the beginning. Capital L lead time. F of x probability density function for demand x. All these are the notations which we have to use in the inventory models. These are the reference books corresponding to this lecture. We take all these points from these books for reference or for more reading corresponding to these points. You may read these books. And thank you for watching this video.